Hello, this is I'm a Lover. So I did tell you I'll be back with another video about me talking about myself, and one of the topics will be about growing up with a learning disability. Um, Anybody that can relate with any disability at all or something related to minds. It's not easy growing up with um, affects not just yourself, but the people around you. Um, it really had affected my mom um, when she found out when I want to say school council. Um, I don't know at the time what um, title that was for the person that told her what was wrong with me and why I was struggling so bad in school. And it kind of just wrecked her, and it wrecked me just to find out that I got a label slapped on me, learning disability, and having to be held back in second grade just because of that. Um, and speaking of that, um, how much it affects you, because it is affected not only just me processing things slower than people. Um, it just it takes took me longer to get it get it processed, and took me longer than other children at the time at my age to get something done. Um, and like I said, it also affected my speech, which I'm even at 21, I still struggle at sometimes because I might stutter, or I might say the one word about 2 or 3 times before I can actually get out what I want to say. Um, but yes, learning disability was, well, with that growing up and even now is horrible, and it's a struggle. Um, because one of the reasons that I am talking about this now is because bullying was one of the things that impacted me horrible in school. People would tease me about not only just that, but about my looks. They always say I look like Lil Wayne and shit, stuff like that. Um, and seeing how bullying became such a big thing, and schools are trying to get it to stop, but it's not just the students. It has to also do something about the parents. What the kids is raised around, what they see on an everyday base from their parents, because they look up to their parents, or social media, what you see on TV. I'm not an expert. It's just my common knowledge of seeing that, or seeing from my point of just growing up, knowing what will impact a child. But speaking back on the learning disability, um, besides just taking things in slower on my speech, and like I was saying, it affected a lot of people, like my family. I didn't really have any friends, so that I couldn't really say it affected them. But when it comes to my family, it especially affected them. Um, and when it got to a point, it started affecting me. Um, because I wanted to have friends and I couldn't, because as soon as people learned that, oh, something's wrong with her, let's not be friends with her just because of something different about me. Um, I did end up getting help. Um, Anybody that knows anything like the special school district or the that program, or that setup, they get you the help that you need. And I remember that I had started going to speech therapy, and I love this woman, and rest in heaven to her, because she passed away some years ago. Um, she put her foot down and got me speaking better, and you know reading better and stuff. Because not only that, speech therapy, I had to go through reading, and I just had to go through a whole lot more than I don't want to say a normal child, but anybody that doesn't have a learning disability or any disability at all. Um, I remember that I had to go to this uh, woman every probably week or so, or every other week, to read a story every other time, to see how fast I will read and things. And after time, I started getting better and better. Um, and I have improved. Um, I'm a lot better than I was when I was little, because I just, it felt like I had the world on my shoulders. And even now, sometimes I feel like I do. Um, it's not an easy topic to talk about. Some people probably can't talk about it, but it took me years to finally open up about how I felt. And even then, when I did talk about it, when it came to one of the people to understand me, they wanted to deny like the bullying, or talking about my behind my back, or just things when it comes to that topic. And when I was mentioning how it affected my family, um, how it affected my mom, she, to me, became a whole nother person. And I might talk about that in a different vlog. I don't want to really talk too much deep about it, but just to say that it wasn't good, not only for me, but some of the people that was around on a regular basis, when it came to that. But there's a lot of things to talk about when it comes to learning disability and growing up with it, because a lot of people probably won't come out and talk about it. And even today, it probably still affects them, because not only was, like I was mentioning, bullying was hard. I have developed depression, and dealing with that, and having to deal with wanting to understand what's in front of me, but I can't, because it took so much longer to gain that information. So anybody that can relate, I would love to hear y'all stories. And I am talking about mine, and just processing how long and how far I've gotten to where I am now. I, like I said, I still struggle with certain things. I am a lot faster with how I process things when I was much younger, but it doesn't change. It don't really ever leave. Um, And how I mentioned that I'm in college, I can only get so much help with what college I'm in, and I just feel like that's not enough. I I want to be independent when it comes to college, but it seems like it only be like 2 out of probably 10 teachers that will sit there and teach how I process things, or teach with multiple teaching strategies and things like that. And everybody else, they just teach their own way, but I can't learn how to learn that way, because that's not how my brain or how that's set up. Um, and talking about that with anybody, um, when it comes to going to advisors and such, telling them that even with what they trying to give, it's not helping. Having someone take notes for you, or having the lesson recorded, or um, other suggestions they give out, is just, yes, I probably could do them things, but that was not the point of me going to college. My point was going to college was because to be independent. But it seems like that I'm still struggling even now, after all these years of going through this and trying to get out of being in smaller classrooms. And speaking of that, I'll be back on that topic. Um, it's just, it's still hard, and it still hurts that I still have to get help in some type of way, and I don't want to, but I know I probably don't have to have somebody record notes, or get a recording machine, or like I said, the other suggestions they had. Um, and speaking back on being in smaller classrooms, that's another thing that I had to get used to, because I didn't start off in small classrooms. I started off in big classrooms. I started off in big classrooms when I was kindergarten, first grade, and no, my first time being in second grade was before I had to repeat. Um, I'm so distracted, but I'm trying to focus on this because this is actually a serious conversation. Well, not conversation. It is kind of a conversation, but it's a serious topic. Um, and I was mentioning that I wasn't in, always in small classrooms, and as soon as that happened, it was a big change. And being around different students that had their own disabilities and things, and having extra help, other teachers making sure that you're okay, and being in a room, you know, it helped. It really did. Being in smaller classrooms helped. The only time we probably had to, really be around the bigger classrooms was like uh, the other um, recommended classes like music, PE, art. I think I said music, but you get what I'm saying. That's the only, or with lunch. That that's the only time we really have to be around the bigger classrooms, unless we have field trips. And I remember growing up, we went on a lot of field trips, but by the time I probably got to like middle school, not so much, because they just felt like they didn't have the need to have the special needs students to go on field trips, or it's too stupid to do anything in public or something related to that. Um, I don't really know the full answer, but that's kind of how I thought that was, because I didn't go on one field trip in middle school. And they had field trips in middle school. They just didn't invite the special needs students, because who wouldn't have, hold the hand of the special needs student, or, you know, uh, have them around, and that hurt it, knowing that this teachers was having them trips, but didn't say anything to me, or as far as I know, any other special needs students. And speaking of middle school, middle school was pretty rough, especially with the school district I was in, because they just seemed like as soon as you leave that smaller classroom, they just didn't care who you was, or, you know, this is a totally different input or impact, because you got bullied a lot, way more. Some of us got in the fights. I had got in a fight, didn't win. I'm not even gonna sit there and lie. I remember one of the male students, he had his disability, and somebody had pushed his buttons, and they just started fighting. I think it was a couple more that, like the regular students, they just didn't care. They just saw you as a person, which I liked, but at the end of the day, we are special students that when you mess with some of us will break down, or some of us might be angry and we would vent out. And some of the students, they didn't care, even if you had some disabilities, and such. They make fun of you, say this and say that. But after I got out that district, I was transferred. Well, yeah. And I had, you know, this was going into high school, and the new experience being around a lot of different cultural people, because it wasn't really a lot of different cultural people in the school district I was in, or just, well, it was only one middle school, let's just say that. And once I got into high school, different cultures of people, different classes, different type of people and personalities and stuff. I didn't know what to expect at first. I was kind of hoping that this would be different, this would be new, a fresh start, and it was. My high school helped me a great amount to what my middle school did. Or I want to compare elementary to high school, but that was kind of like the formality of that, because they was there for you, all the teachers. It didn't matter what, if you was in big or small. That school was kind of like a family. And even it was some probably every once in a while, it'd be somebody that was not nice enough. And they'll still do the same thing. And that's just life. People will sit there and make fun of you, talk behind your back. But you move forward and you keep going. Or when it came to that, either you speak up for yourself, not say nothing, or you tell the teacher or the principal, or go to the council office, talk to them about it. I really didn't, as far as I know, I really didn't get picked on. Not really, not a lot like I was in like elementary and middle school. But it was still some that would still do it about, oh, she don't got, good clothes, or her ain't really done, or something like that. Because, to be honest, I'm not the wealthiest person. I've been wearing the same clothes for the past few years because I don't have the money to buy me clothes like that. And when I do get the chance, I get what I need and keep going. And speaking back on topic and not keep from venturing off. But yeah, I still had bullies or people that talked about me. And I made a lot of friends from the start and different experiences, and had teachers I loved, I had teachers I hated. Well, not really hated. Hate is a strong word. Don't ever use hate. Just to say dislike. I disliked it. A lot of teachers were the ones that I grew familiar with. Either I liked you or disliked you, for my own personal reasons. But it really wasn't a lot of people I didn't like or, felt uncomfortable with. I just had my teachers I did like, or like I said, I didn't like. Um, but that school, it helped me see that people want to be people, and that's not going to change. And that's when I started getting the idea, maybe talking about all the things I've been through will help me get out of my shell a bit more about my learning disability and growing up with the struggle of what I was going through at home and school, and wanting to have friends or people to relate to. And the only people I could really relate to was the people that was in the smaller classrooms, or even every probably five people in the regular classes. I'll probably get along with, and we, gangs fight. Um, but now that I'm out of high school, I barely talk to any of those people anymore. I got me probably a few people I still talk to every once in a while from high school. I got my best friend, or she more like my sister, from my sixth grade class. But I really don't have a lot of friends. I probably speak to people I work with now, but I mean, they co-workers. Recently, had started talking to a girl as a friend and things, and I really don't know too much about her, but she came out so sweet and understanding, so I just like, why not? Why not try to open yourself up more and not be this enclosed person? So every once in a while, I decide to venture out and try to be more open and try to find people I can relate to and have friends. But I don't really have any true friends. Besides that girl I mentioned that I grew up with since sixth grade, and she's like my family now. So that's not in the same category. She's family. But friends wise, I don't really have none. But speaking back on topic, I don't know a lot of people that's out there who can relate to knowing anybody that has a learning disability, or having it themselves, or having a disability in general. It's not easy. It's something that is a very deep accomplishment, and some of us get through it, some of us don't, and we can only do our best with getting by. But like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if anybody's comfortable enough to talk about growing up with it, or knowing somebody, or just a disability in general, if you want to tell me your story, I would love to hear it. And I'll probably tell you more about me growing up with it, my disability, or in life in general, in another video in the future. But right now I'm just kind of just rambling about that topic with myself. Sometimes I just think back about how much I have accomplished from that, and just getting through life with it. And I know it's never going to disappear. And also being reminded, I was just hoping and praying that it wasn't true, but I'm not sure if this is for everyone or it was just for me. But a few years back, had a doctor's appointment, physical, and we went over every things and such. And they had brought up, I think they brought up the topic of my learning disability, and they said that I don't want to just remember, but I'm going to estimate that they said by the time I'm 30 that I'm not going to remember a lot. I'm going to start losing not my memory, but I'm just going to start falling back kind of from everything that I've been achieving and accomplishing. So when I found that out, I was just like, it can't be true. I haven't gone through all this just to be thrown back. And I didn't want to admit it, but now, like I said, I'm 21 and I'm already feeling like nowhere near how I was a couple years back, and I don't want it to be true. So if anybody that found that out as well and been noticing the signs and such, or you want to tell me your story, or both, or not, just comment below, give me your story, tell me if you been told this, that you will start kind of losing your memory and such as that. Because my mind be on like 1,000 things at once, and being told that and noticing now that it's kind of falling into place, and I'm hoping that maybe it's just something that will come and go, but I know it probably won't. Let me just kind of stop let me stop rambling and just kind of move forward from this. But like I said, this video wasn't gonna be about learning disability. I wasn't going to be no pointers or anything too serious about the topic, but just my experience in growing up with it. How much it was impacted on my life and people around me, and growing up with it and having people treat you horrible just because of it, or just because of how you look, or how you speak, or how you process things. Like I said, I have gotten better, but I also have noticed that it seems like I am falling back into the going towards like the beginning stage, and I'm hoping that that's not the case. But I'm going to start ending this video by saying that you're not alone. For those that have learning disabilities in general, that I understand. I grew up around it. I grew up around seeing other people, and I know I might not clearly understand from your point, but I know from my point that it's not easy, that it's something that takes a long time to get by. So I'm ending this video by saying that you're not alone, you're loved, and this might be something that needs to be spoken up about again in time. So I'm saying good night. This is Alma Lover, and peace.